now that we've cleared the backlog of all of the broken cars in the workshop and we got the G-Wagon back into rolling chassis with the engine and everything back in it, and it is ready to get the body on it, which isn't ready, we can now start on something that should be fun but might be an absolute pain in the arse. I have a BMW 635 CSI 1979. It's an early car with a M90 engine, rare option. These early cars, not a lot of them left. They were particularly rusty. This one is not rusty. It's henna rod. It has dogleg gearbox like the early cars, black leather, it's beautiful. It's been sitting under the carport for a little bit at the house, so it's a bit dusty. So it's not been in the sun, but it's just been sitting getting dusty. So we brought it to the workshop today, and we're going to clean it up and get it back on the road. Now, why have we got it in the workshop? There is a mysterious tick coming from the car. Now, mysterious ticks are never good. Where is it coming from? Is it an exhaust leak? Please, let it just be an exhaust leak. I think that's the most wishful thinking in the world, that it's an exhaust leak, but it might well be a rod bearing. It doesn't sound that bad, but it's there and I can hear it. I had to drive it in this morning. It's not far, it's from the house to the workshop, but it's not really an enjoyable way to drive a car when you're just listening to this tick, 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 tick noise. So I really don't know if it's rod bearing, or it might be. I can't remember what they're called, this Italian exhaust, oh my god, have I ever forgotten? I put a new headers on, it's got new headers on it, full system, so maybe it's the headers and it's just coming out of the exhaust, maybe it's just going out of the exhaust. Please let it be that. It's right, well, it doesn't really matter, like one way or the other, but I'll pull it, if not, because it's a pain in the ass to get the oil pan off of this. I need to support the engine, drop the subframe and everything, so that's a bit long-winded, but it's all been off before, so it should come to part easily. The subframe and everything was taken off and powder coated a few years ago and cleaned up at the front. I still haven't done the back, so while we get it on the lift, we'll wash it now, we'll get it on the lift, and then we shall see what we need to do. If it is rod bearings, we'll probably have to wait for them, so while we're waiting for them, I might start pull the back end off it and clean all that up, paint it, and get some bits of that powder coated. The car is like spotless, there's no rust or anything on it. It's a really nice, really clean car. It's just been lying out in the carport for a few months while we have been making space here. I really would like to be driving this car. It's probably the one car I miss driving the most. I've known about this for a while, since before the summer. Like, we had a few other problems with it, and just getting it running has been a bit tedious, but you know, now the top end is like totally silent. We did a load of work on that before, so the top end is like perfect. It's had a head gasket, radiator, water pump, everything, so it doesn't overheat. The car runs really nice. I bought the car in 2022 and done a bit of tidying up on it. It was good for a while, then the head gasket went on it and started on 147,000 miles, I think. So we shall see. Let's get it cleaned first, get it nice and cleaned up, and then we'll look at getting on the lift, and I'll get the stethoscope out, see if we can find where the noise is. Please let it be exhaust, let it be exhaust, let it be exhaust. Because this car's been sitting in the sun, not in the sun, but because it's been sitting outside, and just always, because you should top up the leather with leather conditioner, anything. This is good. They do like a big 5 litres of Maguire's, but I couldn't find that on Amazon recently. It seemed to have disappeared. But just feed your leather, like keep it nice, because the seats in this car are so nice, right? They are so comfortable. It's a bit black in here, so you might not see too much. But this is what car seats are all about. They've got a nice bolster, they've got a good bit of support on them, and the back seats are just like, look, these are like individual buckets in the back, like sort of old Corbero style buckets. They almost look like they are, you know, and there's space in the back of here, but the leather is just, you know, this isn't what they make leather seats off now. You know, this is like different quality. This car's 1979, so how old is that? 45, 46 years old. And, you know, the seats are still really nice. I don't know if they've been redone or not. I don't think so. I think this car's pretty genuine at 147,000 kilometres. But the seats are in such nice condition, and they're so soft, and they're just comfortable. I once drove this car from, well, when I bought it, I drove it from Frankfurt back to Spain, and I just went on my own, picked the car up, bought it from an auction, picked it up and drove it back myself. I bought some coolant, I bought a spare battery, what else did I put in the car? Some engine oil, and I just drove it. It was June, I think. I drove it overnight from left Frankfurt down across Germany, across Switzerland, over the Mont Blanc tunnel. Came out the Mont Blanc tunnel, I think about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And there's a big cafeteria at the bottom and the other side. It's shut, so I just stopped the car, pulled the handle, put the seat back, slept in the car for about 3 hours. That place opens up for coffee at like 6 o'clock. There's a queue of people waiting to go in there. Went in, got some coffee, croissant, back in the car, head towards Milan, and then cut across to Monaco, did a few laps of Monaco, got parked up right in front of the Marina, and then left Monaco, across down to Nice, then to Toulon, got in the boat and came to Mallorca. One hit with 3 hours sleep. I can't remember how long it took me, but we were moving a few times, and that's when I fell in love with this car. I was like, you know, this is a good car. She's a good car. So I really want to get her back on the road, because like just that journey itself was just, that make you fall in love with a car, you know what I mean? Just your first day buying it, and it ran spot on. It ran great for about 2 years, and then head gasket, did the head gasket, and then after the head gasket, I think I drove it twice, and I've got this tappity noise, so we'll find out what the noise is, but hopefully it's just exhaust leak or something. But yeah, that was what a trip that was. Like, that's, honestly, I'll put that down as maybe one of the best road trips I've ever done. Just on my own, no radio, it's like no music, no nothing, just windows down and blasted, bit of blasting the Autobahn, down through Italy, like whipping through Italy before we get to Monaco. From Italy across to Monaco, absolutely flying across there. I think it was early June, so it still wasn't like school traffic and stuff, major holiday traffic, so the roads were good. Whipped it across there, little spin around Monaco, and then whipped it from Monaco to Toulon. That's a really nice road as well, like flying. That was a great trip, great weather, great car, like big smile on my face the whole way. So it'd be nice to get this car going and go and do some big trips on it, because it is a car that is so comfortable. Like, I got out of that car for, you know, coffees and drinks, and that was it. It just drove. and like comfortable. Like try and do that in a GT3 or even that Golf would probably kill you to do that for that long, you know. Like you would, that's a comfortable car, but the cruising and just, you know, this isn't a fast car, but like when you're on the motorway and you autobahn or what do they call it in Italy? Autovia, no, I don't know. Autostrada, yeah. And you just maybe that's what it's called. Don't shoot me, Italians. You just put your foot down and just go, and it's just nice big cruiser. So it's all clean now. Let's drench the leather, keep it nice, and then switch everything around the workshop and get it back in the lift. Okay, I think that our problem really was just an exhaust header leak. I've tightened up all of the bolts in the exhaust now on the car, and there was 3 of them were loose in the middle, the hardest ones to get to, obviously always the way, so I've tightened them up. I'm now going to start the car and see if it is better, because it should be, I'm hoping, because like what a result that would be if your only problem is just your exhaust manifold and not actually the rod bearings or anything like that. So you just chill here. Right, what we're going to have to do is get the timing light out and have a look and see what it's at, because this seems to be running a bit better now. It's a bit smoother. We've got a nice steady idle. We'll let the engine heat up first, and then I'm going to have to split this video into a couple of parts, I think, because as usual it's got a little bit out of control what we're doing, and we've done quite a few more jobs than we thought. But now today I'm just about to finish putting the car back together and start the engine. I did the valve clearances yesterday. They all seemed a bit tight, so we got them re-gapped yesterday. Took it was actually pretty easy to set on this car if you've got nice. I made a little tool here just to hold the rotating bit of the valves of the rocker arms, so that's actually worked out pretty nice. There is like a specific BMW one. This shank's a little bit too small, this welding rod. Maybe a fatter welding rod would have worked better, but because there's a bit of play. But it's really, if you just unloosen the retaining bolts a little bit, you can really fine adjust with this. Worked out a treat. So we got it all adjusted, just putting it back together. I didn't film it with the head off or anything, but the head is really spotless in this car. Everything's nice and tidy. So now we'll just get the cables tidied up. I re-tidied up those cables a little bit as well. They look better now. I've pushed them further into the harness for the fuel injectors. I've pushed that a bit further down in there, put that behind there. So that's tidied that up. It looks a lot better. So we'll just get the spark plug cables tidied up, and the intake and the waffle, everything back on, and then we shall start up, and hopefully we have a nice quiet engine. And if we're nice and quiet, then we will be sweet. Like I said, I've got some other oil that I might bung in the car and try. But I want to see how much it quietens down just like this, because the oil's fresh in this car, the oil's brand new. But we'll give it a run, see how it goes. I'm definitely going to try and get it aligned today, because I went the other day and they were shut. So I'll try and get there before lunchtime and get the car aligned and then we should be good. So let's quickly get this car back together. The BMW, I have had the timing light on it. I got it timed just right. That's always fun, but everything lines up. Just like to check these things. Everything lines up on the timing marks on the engine, front, back, everything, so that's good. I got it timed just right. Took a bit of work. I had to get some Tipex and get into time these off of a window in the back of on the flywheel, and it's hard to get in there and see the bulkhead. It's really awkward. So I Tipexed it all and just made the timing mark much clearer. So we got it all perfectly bang on, sitting really steady in the middle when the light's on. So that's good. It did take me the best part of 2 days to do it. Not 2 days, but the first time I was doing it, I was having like real intermittent problems with the light, and I just couldn't work out what was going on with the light. I had, you can see here, this had, when it was hanging on the wire, was sitting on the header and was melted. But it's quite hard to see into where the wire is and where it was. So for an afternoon, I was trying, and I was getting like a real intermittent working with the light, and it's like, what the hell is going on with this light? So I bought a new one. These are cheap anyway, so I got another one, fresh one, because this melted one really is not conducive to timing the car, because I should have looked much earlier at why it wasn't working. I should have looked at that. I should have checked all the connections and checked that, because because you're just looking through a little window and you're moving the alternator and it's like jumping backwards. It's really hard to find the point. It's hard to find the point when it's not marked. I should have marked it all, first of all, before I started, but I was like, I can see this. It's like a little ball bearing that's pressed into the flywheel. I was like, I can see that. Turns out I can't. Well, I could have if my light had been working, so that was an absolute mission, right? We even had the books out. This is a great book, Rob Siegel. Rob Siegel is a really great writer about BMWs, and this book, although it's not about BMW specifically, he does reference BMWs a lot. It's a really, really good book. I've had the Bosch. This is, if you have lots of cars with Bosch fuel injection systems, this has got L-Jetronic, that Golf's got K-Jetronic, I've got an Audi outside with K-Jetronic, I've got another Golf Mark 1. So if you have any of these older cars with the Bosch CIS, K-Jet, L-Jet, Motronic, Jetronic, this book is really, really, really good, by Charles Probst. It's a really good book for learning about these. So books are good. I don't know, I can't read things on the internet and learn reading on a computer. I could read the World Encyclopedia 3 times on a computer and not take it in. But if I'm reading an actual book, I just take things in. I don't know why, it just makes a really big difference to me. There's books lying around everywhere. This Mark 1 Golf restoration book. You're better off with a Haynes manual than that book. 5 Series. What else we got? Oh, I've got loads of books on Austin. Here is MGB electrical systems. This might be what we tackle next. I might be just about to finally get into this. I was going to get an electrical harness made, but I might just I might put the engine in, get the harnesses on it up and running, and then maybe it'd be quite interesting to make a harness from scratch. I was looking at the HP Academy yesterday, I was thinking maybe I should buy the course, the electrical wiring course. It's $290, €299. It's something that's not cheap, but they do get quite highly rated, well rated. those courses. So I actually looked into to buy all of the courses on it is something like €3,000 or $3,000, quite expensive. So I might just get the electrical one, see how it goes, and then maybe try and make a harness myself, because I would definitely say that electrical is my weak point, and I have many weak points. I have more weak points than strong points and everything. But I think that I think if I could make an electrical harness, then I could do anything in a car. I think then I would be unstoppable. Like, if once you can make a harness from scratch, I think there's like, everything else is easy. Mechanical stuff is bolt on, bolt off, measure. You know, that's manageable for me. So I think that it would be really valuable to learn that. Other things with this car, the car went to get, turn this round, the car went to get painted here because I had it slammed much more and I had a different set of wheels on it. Let's go this way through to where the wheels are. And I was test fitting the wheels. These wheels are going on the car. I need to get tyres in. These are, where this goes down. These are Koenig specials from a BMW 850 CSI Koenig that are wide body, that were actually been cut down and are now going to go, why am I showing you there? Are going to go on this car, and it's going to look amazing, but it's in the works. I need to buy tyres and stuff for it and get them on. So when I was test fitting them, I had the car absolutely slammed. I was trying some other tyres with some stretch. I tried these tyres on it with some stretch on them, and I tried some other tyres. I can't remember what other tyres. I had something, and I really stretched them on, and I had the car slammed, and I caught the arches here, and there's a bit of a lip as you're coming in and out of the garage here, and I caught the arches and pulled them down. So the car went to get painted. We cut the arches back, cut them and rolled them, and painted the front arches on both sides, did them both. So I can absolutely slam this car now. It's got BC coilovers on it. But when it had been to the it came back from the painter sitting low, and when I was driving it from the house, I hadn't really driven it. I'd driven it like nothing, basically, because it wasn't running right because of that noise when it came back from the painters. I was driving the other day here to the workshop, and the car was bouncing. The car was bouncing like crazy, really bouncy. And I was like, that's not right, because I'd had some problems with it before, but I'd got it. I remember the last time I was driving it, it was really nice. I got it all sorted. So I had raised it up to go to the painters, and on this you have to undo the shock from the bottom knuckle and turn the shock body on a thread to set the right height. You're not setting the right height with the springs. But the painter, obviously when he was like put it on, he'd been messing around with it, he had set it with the springs. And it was so long ago it was painted I didn't even think about it. So I was so bouncy, and I was like, I'm going to check the preload on those springs and see how they are. So I just jacked the car up, and the spring is like completely fucking loose inside. There's about this much play in the spring. There's no preload on the spring at all, basically. It's totally loose. So I put them back on. I put them up to just tight, and then I gave them I gave them about 4 mil of preload on them. So we'll see how that goes, and then we can fine tune that. But I think that's what I'd had before, and that was quite nice. So I'm going to take it now for an alignment, because also since we'd had all of the suspension off, we had the subframe off, everything powder coated. So I think now take it, get it aligned, get it running straight, and then hopefully after 2 years of messing about with this car, since like the last time we really drove it was probably a year and a half ago or 2 years since we got everything sort of done in it. So hopefully now everything is sorted on this car. Everything is not sorted because it has ran out of ITV in that time, so I need to get it tested, which probably means I'm going to have to take the exhaust system off it. Well, I'm not going to say it on here, but I'm going to try and get it through with the exhaust on it, but it won't happen. But I'll try. I might try some magic at the ITV Centre. I'm not even going to say, I don't want to incriminate anybody, but I'll try at the ITV Centre and see if it passes. I'll also need to set the height of it for the ITV, because when they first did it, they measured the height, and I need to check and see if it's about there, so I'll probably need to redo all of the suspension again. But because this is a classic car, got historic registration, we only need to ITV it every 4 years, which is nice. And like the Valvetrain Express van, we have to give it an ITV every 6 months, even though it's like 30 years old. It needs ITV'd every 6 months because it's a commercial vehicle. Like how stupid a system of vehicle inspections is that? That's like just a tax on business, and just how to make it less efficient to do business in this country. That commercial vehicles, like a van, like a car, has to go for its ITV every six months. What an inefficient. I can understand if it's a articulated lorry and it's doing 150,000 kilometres a year, right? But just every personal van, or not personal, business van, the fact that they have to go for an ITV every 6 months is criminal, especially when it's like 32 years old or whatever it is. Like, come on, to fuck. So that's annoying. That stops me from like really slamming it, because if I didn't have to do that, I would have it like on the ground. But that's too much work to fuck around doing that all the time. So yeah, this car's timed, the suspension is working. Now let's get out. Let's tighten the wheel nuts up. Important, torque your wheel nuts. Take it for a drive and get it aligned, and hopefully we can enjoy some nice Mallorquin back roads. Another week, another fresh start on the 635. We had a couple of nice test drives over the weekend, not over the weekend, last Friday, and then I stripped it down again. The engine noise is good now. The Valvetrain and everything seems to be nice and quiet. I've adjusted it twice now. I've got it nice. I'm listening to it with the stethoscope through the valve cover, and there's no tick coming from there. The injector, when I put the stethoscope on the injectors, they're pretty noisy, so I'm thinking that it is just the injectors now that are noisy. I'm not going to get to them just now because the car is running really nice. The car's running strong, pulling strong, driving really nice, idling okay. So I don't think we have any problems with the injectors. I just think they're noisy. So we maybe look in the future at sorting that out. I still do have a little bit of a smell of exhaust inside the cabin when I was out driving. Not that strong, but it's there. So I've pulled all of the exhaust out now, and I am going to reseal everything, put it back on, and see if we can get rid of that exhaust noise. The car has a nice set of headers on it. Here, and we can see where the exhaust has been leaking on these headers. And here also, these headers were Cerakoted a few years ago, black. They look alright still. They don't look alright. The Cerakote's really not that durable, considering nothing's really touched them. But we are going to, these flanges I think are not the issue. I just think the gaskets are a bit crunchy, so I got some new gaskets, I got some fit-up paste, and we're going to reinstall this. The exhaust front to back has been dismounted, so I will reseal all of the joints on it and put it back up again and see if we can get rid of the exhaust smell, because It was leaking really badly. It's not leaking so badly now, but there's still, nobody wants to be driving around in a nice car and smelling exhaust inside it. So hopefully by doing this, we will then have this car perfect, because like I say, it drove really well. It's a little tight to get the headers on and off on this car. From the chassis rail, the one header's okay, the second one's a bit tight, so I have to I pulled out all of the studs from the head. It would be a lot nicer if you were just sliding the head onto the studs. I did try and unbolt the engine and lift it up, but it doesn't. From here, unbolted it, tried to pull it up, but it's not giving me enough clearance doing it that way either to get the headers on, so I'll just have to do it by taking the studs out, but I've already did it. I removed it by taking the studs out, so we'll reinstall it by putting the studs in, put the headers in, put the studs in. It's a bit annoying because all of the gaskets are individual gaskets, so that's going to be fun getting these in, but we can slide them in between as we put the studs in. We just need to put one stud in first at the back, put this in, put one stud in at the back, put the second one in, slide them in. So that'll take a little bit of work, but that's going to be the way we're going to do it. And then we shall have hopefully a nice, I'm going to change these also, these are old ones now, so I'll put new ones of these in, and then hopefully we will have a nice no exhaust smell and not quiet exhaust, but not a leaking exhaust. So let's crack on with that. So that's us. We have finished the project on the BMW 635 CSI. It's been a little over a week, and what started out as maybe something really bad turned out to be not such a serious issue. It was just a really badly leaking exhaust, which took us a couple of attempts to get right, and then we did a few more jobs on it by doing the valve clearances again, setting the time and getting the car is now running really nice. When I test drove it the other day, it pulls really good. There's no hesitation, no stumble, the car idles nice. We got it aligned, so it's like a week of little jobs, and we now have our car running really sweet. And that's really the joys of like doing these projects on the car yourself. You know, owning classic cars is fun, but also something's always not working, you know, something's always broken. So being able to fix your own car really makes a big difference. And you know, older cars are not so complicated. If you just buy the right books, spend a bit of time reading, and just go through systematically and methodically, you can fix this. We're lucky here we have a lift, but nothing that we did here today or this week required a lift. Everything could have been done on the floor in the garage with a jack and some jack stands. Realistically, you know, taking the exhaust out is always a bit awkward on your own, even with a lift or without a lift. I'm working here on my own, so it's a little bit difficult, but it can be done just with patience. You know, I got like so much patience now working on cars. Like, you know, when you're younger, you're working on your car and you're just like, I just want to get it fixed and get out and drive it and see what it's like. But you know, as you mellow a bit, you take your time, do it right the first time, the second or third time, and then just get things going nice. And that is, you know, what satisfaction is when your car is out and running nice and you're enjoying it, and the satisfaction you did it yourself. You know, if you take your car to a garage and give them the car to do, they're going to do one thing on it and give you back and go, it's better. But you know, when you're sort of hypersensitive to your own cars and you're driving them and you're listening, what's that noise, what's this noise, you really notice these things more so on your own than any other person working on your cars is going to notice, you know. And hours add up, bills add up, so the more and more you can do on your own car is just what a nice satisfying thing to eventually get to the end of the week and have your car now running perfect yourself. Unfortunately, it's raining today. It's not that it really matters that it's raining, but the car's pretty clean and I don't want to take it out in the rain. So tomorrow we will get the car out and go for a nice drive and maybe try and explain why this is the most underrated of all BMWs. You know, it's such a beautiful classic. Nobody doubts of how beautiful it is, but it seems really undervalued, and it just doesn't come up in chat as much. Like, people are so much into E30s or E39 M5s. You know, these cars are so highly valued and rated. Like all any E30 325i and above is like, people cream over them, and they are getting expensive to get into now. Whereas, you know, these cars are still relatively cheap for what they are. Like, look at it, it's so beautiful. It's a cheap car. So maybe tomorrow we'll do another video and we'll try and explain why this is the goal.